smokes, it's been a while since I've been on this thing. How you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. So glad to see you guys here again. In today's video, I got some business I gotta take care of. So we're headed home. Well, not really headed home, but like headed north. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into details about it. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm on the bike and it feels really good right now. Let me move my mic real quick. Is that better? That's probably better. I'm testing out two new things with the microphone. First thing is that I actually put the microphone in front of my face. I can't tell you how many times, like, this is one of the main things why I haven't been motovlogging lately, is because even after a year of having the Hero 8, I still have not worked out all the kinks of motovlogging with the Hero 8, but I think I have finally worked out all the kinks. First kink is that when I slide my helmet on my head, my microphone ends up under my chin and the audio sounds crap, which makes me not want to upload the video. Secondly is that I believe, like when me and Nick went to the Dragon, or heck, you know, with any vlog that I've done on the bike, there's always like popping and hissing and cracking in the audio, and I couldn't really figure out what it was. And then a thought occurred to me. I bet it's my phone. I bet my phone is causing issues, like interference. So I turned my phone on airplane mode while I'm vlogging. I don't honestly like the idea of that. I like being able to listen to music, one thing, and two, if something bad were to happen to me, then, and my phone's in airplane mode, then no one would be able to find me. Most phones have like tracking capabilities these days, and me and my wife specifically, we track each other. I can't tell you how many friends I have that are married with kids and everything, where they have the Home 360 app, where you can track each other to know where you are. It's all about safety, that's all it is. But I'm just testing this out to see if this actually cures the popping and cracking problem, and my suspicions of it being the GoPro adapter for the microphone, you know, isn't it. And if the popping and cracking still happens, then, well, I know that it's the adapter. So, and if that's the case, then I don't know if I need to buy a new adapter, or if I just need to start vlogging with the motovlogging with the Hero 4 again and just use that. I mean, honestly, like, the only thing that sucks about motovlogging with the Hero 4 is battery life. And that's a big thing for me, is I want to be able to film in 4K, because it just looks better on YouTube, and you know, I want my quality to be as good and as high as possible. But I bet I could probably get some new batteries for it and just run it, you know what I mean? So then I wouldn't have to worry about any of this stupid crap with the Hero 8, and I could just use the Hero 8 for car vlogs and stuff like that, because it never hurts to have multiple GoPros whenever you're doing like automotive stuff, you know. So with that being said, you know, if I can't figure out this issue, then I'm just probably going to move back to the Hero 4, and I may actually motovlog a whole lot more. But with that being said, you know, I don't really have a topic for today. I'm just riding, and it's really weird for me to go for a ride and not film something, you know. So as long as everything works out well with this video and the noise and everything, I guess you know, something that's kind of been on my mind lately is reviewing things that I have purchased for my bike previously. So I'm just going to do a 2-for-1 on this review, and I've had both of these for about, you know, a little over 6 months now. I'm going to review my custom cluster and my gear indicator. And so I'm going to start the review now, and I'm going to end it on my way back home. So I will finish the review. I'll come to a conclusion at the end of the review. But just starting off, they've been great. The gear indicator is, well, of course the message failed to send because I'm in airplane mode. The gear indicator is awesome. There's just a couple of things about it, not really about the one that I have, but maybe what the company Healtech should go for in the future. But as far as my satisfaction with the gear indicator, it's flawless. I don't think I'm going to be able to be on another bike without one. Like, I just love having it, having that confirmation of what gear I'm in, not second guessing myself, because I'm not one of these hardcore riders that know what gear I'm in constantly. You know, when you've been riding as long as I have, you just shift based on the way that the motorcycle feels and what obstacle, or not necessarily obstacle, but what road conditions are in front of you. So if you're going into a turn, you know, I can pretty much tell you what RPM this thing is at just on the exhaust note alone. But as far as the gear, it's autopilot. Like right now I'm on autopilot. I mean, it's good to know that I'm in 6th. I'm getting maximum fuel mileage. As far as how I feel about the gear indicator, it's lovely. It's utterly lovely. I think everyone should have one. If you buy a motorcycle that's a 2020 model, or heck, even older, like I think some 2010 model motorcycles have gear indicators, you know, BMWs and Kawasaki's and all that, you know, most of them have gear indications, so that's great. But with my bike being older, you know, I believe that eventually, you know, aftermarket stuff like that is going to fade, because eventually, I'm not saying like in the next 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, but I'm saying like in the next maybe 100 years or so, if we're still here as a species, bikes like mine are going to be gems. They're going to be diamonds in the rough, you know. If this thing is still running in 100 years, holy cow, right? But by that point, old bikes are going to be like bikes from the 2050s, and they're going to have gear indicators, guaranteed. I have thoughts like that all the time. But right now, in 2020, with my 2006 model CBR, I love the gear indicator. It's awesome. Could not recommend it enough. As far as, is that a dog or coyote? That's a dog. Two things though, Healtech. This is just some forward thinking for you guys. And I know it's going to be really hard, but just, you know, listen to, this isn't even a complaint. This is just a future idea. Make it to where you can change the color, because that would help you guys out tons, because then you wouldn't have to make, you would be able to get maximum profit, because instead of making, you know, 8,000 white ones, 8,000 red ones, 8,000 blue ones, 8,000 green ones, so on and so forth, you could just make 100,000 ones of these, and then people could just purchase them for their motorcycles and then change the color to whatever suits their fancy at that moment. Because I knew I wanted white, and I'm never going to change it to any color except white, because my cluster has also been modified to be white. But at the same time, you know, that may not be the case for everybody. There's so many people that are indecisive and aren't content with things. That's just something that you could probably pull off, is make it to where you can change the colors. And I know that's going to be really difficult to package it in such a small, nice little neat package, and also have all the different colors of LEDs in order to make it to where you can change the color. But that technology is probably well on its way. So that would definitely be something that I would look into in the future, because you could maximize profits. Because like one day you're going to just have a drawer in the back office full of these that no one bought because they didn't want white or yellow or blue or whatever, and they're not made to order, I'm sure, because I got mine really fast, you know. The only other thing that I could say is that, and this is a little bit more out there, this is a little bit more far-fetched, but maybe, depending on the model of motorcycle that the person is purchasing their gear indicator for that doesn't have them, start selling bezels that integrates the gear indicator into the cluster more, you know, cleanly. And I know that's crazy. That sounds actually crazy when I say it out loud, but I think it'd be super cool if they could just mold a new cluster cover and have the gear indicator integrated into it. I think that would look really, really clean, and it'd be really, really cool. I've got a dead cat in this helmet, and I just had to pull over because half of the dead cat just went in my mouth. Oh my god, it was the worst feeling alive. Oh god. Okay, back to the vlog. By the way, do you guys hear that? You probably can't hear it as well as I can, but I think the bike has another exhaust leak again. I may have to go in and order new gaskets for the headers on this thing, because the headers are pretty much the only thing that leaks. But I may just go through and take the whole system apart like I did a couple years ago, and put new gasket seals on the headers themselves, but then also get some I got some copper sealant that I use on headers and stuff, and I'm probably just going to coat each junction with a thin film of that, just to help it for in the future. Stupid dead cat. That's a cool truck. It's a 77 flatbed. That's honestly not a bad price. $48.50 for that. If that thing runs good and it's been well maintained, that's actually a pretty cool price for that. As far as the cluster that Scott modified for me at bluegauges.com, it's fantastic. I've had no issues out of it as of late, you know. I mean, I've never had an issue out of it ever since I installed it. And what I did was probably one of the cheapest things you could do, but it's such a it's a very simple job, I'm sure, for him. And it's a but I wouldn't even call it a subtle thing. I mean, it's very subtle because nothing looks crazy about the cluster itself. But at night, when this thing shines up white instead of that god awful like orangey yellow color that these things have from the factory, it just makes the bike look and feel so much newer than it is. And everyone has enjoyed it. They're like, oh my god, yes, that looks so much better. And you know, back in the day when I was probably about 16, 17 years old, I probably would have, if I would have been riding this back then, I probably would have done the red, because red used to be like my end-all be-all favorite color. But as I've gotten older, you know, it's not that I didn't want it to be like a standout kind of thing, or do something a little bit more unique or whatever. But just as I've gotten older, you know, I want something that's going to be long-lasting and pleasing to the eye for everybody, not just me. Even though I'm never planning on getting rid of the bike, I just think older me will appreciate it that I did a white cluster instead of doing something like red or blue or something crazy. Now, if the bike itself was red, maybe, you know what I mean? Like if you were to get your cluster done up all blue and you ride like a blue Gixxer or like a blue Yamaha or something like that, then yeah, I'd kind of get it. You know, that would sort of make sense. As I'm riding, that kind of exhaust leak sound is starting to kind of clear up a little bit. Maybe this thing just needed to be ridden a little bit, because it literally just sounded like a tick 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 tick, not like a cam chain or anything like that, but just, you know, like a exhaust leak. But it sounds so much better now. Or maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've been on this thing. I'm ending the video for now, but I will be back later on this evening, so that way we can check out how all this looks at night, so that way it's more pleasing to the eye, because right now you can't see the cluster worth anything. So anyway, I'll holler back at you guys here in a little bit.
Later.
Okay guys, continuing the vlog. It's dark now, obviously, and I've got my phone connected. It's not on airplane mode, and I got it playing music to my Senna. So this is like a further test of what I was trying earlier. So if the audio sounds bad now, actually, hang on. Okay, I moved my microphone up, so maybe that might help it a little bit. But if the audio sounds bad now, it's definitely because my phone is hooked up to the internet. It's causing interference, and I'm just gonna have to figure out a workaround on that. But you know, final thoughts. It's definitely worth it. If you're thinking about doing it, do it. Now I know this is kind of like a niche thing. The gear indicator, not necessarily a niche thing. There's a lot of bikes out there that do not come from the factory with gear indicators, and Healtech makes, you know, gear indicators for countless bikes. I couldn't even tell you. Like, they make them for everything. And but as far as like the cluster, you know, getting a different color on that and everything, yeah, okay, yep, I was through it. Nobody tell the cops! But the cluster, that's definitely more of a thing for my bike only. Obviously, you know, Scott at bluegauges.com, you know, he can do pretty much any cluster to my knowledge, but specifically talking about my cluster and the job he did on it for my 06 CBR, awesome. Like, I love it. I wouldn't go back for nothing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. It's been a great day. And I actually just for my own reference, because I'll probably forget whenever I film this at some point, I just left my buddy's bachelor party. I'm going to be the best man in a friend of mine's wedding tomorrow. So Clay, Chris, it was a great time. I really enjoyed it. Hope we get to hang out more sometime. And but for the rest of you, hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to share my videos with your friends, your family, and your dog. Remember to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.